Let's discuss about the benefits and limitations of one Snowflake account compared to multiple Snowflake accounts. We will also discuss on the key considerations and constraints when defining an account strategy, and we will also cover the features and capabilities that can be leveraged across accounts, and we will also be looking on the use cases that are appropriate for the account strategies. And let's begin with isolate or segment accounts. One Snowflake account versus multiple accounts. In the early stages of your Snowflake journey, you might have to decide from DevOps perspective whether you are going to deploy on a single Snowflake account versus multiple Snowflake accounts as separate environments such as dev, test, or production. Technically, as a SaaS provider in terms of security, operations, deployment, multiple accounts are multiple tenants being part of the same deployment. So having multiple accounts is not the same as having multiple VPCs in AWS or Azure. Let's discuss about single account strategy. In this model, all the business units, environments, either dev, test, and production, and the data resides within one Snowflake URL. If we talk about the benefits includes simplicity because it's a centralized management of resources. RBAC and the security integrations are very simple to implement. And the second is resource efficiency. You really no need to move data. Users can simply access different databases or schema within the single account setup. Third is centralized billing. Obviously, one contract, one usage, one billing. If I talk about the limitations, the biggest limitation is blast radius. A single misconfigurations at the account level could lock out the entire organization, right? The other limitation is object limitations, which is rare, but hitting limits on the number of shares or specific metadata object is possible in massive scales. Third is strict isolation. It is harder to achieve absolute air-gapped isolation between highly sensitive data and journal analytics. When we talk about single account strategy, these are simple and efficient, but obviously you are having everything at a single place, which might leads to limitations like blast radius and strict isolations. So obviously guys, there are pros and cons for a single or multiple accounts. We will discuss the use case as well, but this is pretty much about the single account strategy, which you should know what are the benefits and what are the limitations for these kind of strategies. Next up is multi-account strategy. Organizations often spin up separate accounts for different regions, departments, or life cycle stages. If we talk about benefits, the first benefit is perfect isolation because it's having zero resource contention at the metadata level and complete separation of administrative privileges. Next benefit is compliance. It meets data residency requirements by placing accounts in specific cloud regions, example US East 1 or Azure West Europe. Third is billing granularity. It simplifies the chargeback models by having separate invoices for different business accounts. But again, here we also have few limitations like operational overhead. You must manage security, users, and networking for each account separately. And second is data silos. Moving or viewing data across accounts requires Snowflake data sharing or application, which obviously adds more complexity. That's pretty much about multi-account strategy, where we have the perfect isolation, compliance, and granularity, but we are obviously increasing the operational overhead and we are promoting the data silos. Next up is key considerations and constraints when defining an account strategy. When defining your strategy, evaluate these four constraints. The first one is security and compliance. Do you have hard tenancy requirements? Some regulated industries require production data to be physically and logically separated from deployment environment. Second is geographic footprint. Snowflake accounts are region specific. If your users are globally distributed, multiple accounts in different regions minimize the latency and satisfy local data loss. Third is governance maturity. A single account requires a very mature RBAC model to prevent admin overreach. If different teams need account admin privileges, they should likely have their own accounts. And fourth one is cost management. While resource monitor works very well in single account, separate accounts provide the cleanest break for financial auditing. Let's discuss about feature capabilities that can leverage across accounts. If you choose a multi-account strategy, Snowflake provides features to make them behave like a unified ecosystem, like Snowflake organizations, a management layer that allows an org admin to create accounts, view usage across the entire entire company and manage billing centrally. Next up is data replication and failover. You can sync databases between accounts, even across different clouds like Azure to AWS for disaster recovery. Third is secure data sharing. You can share data between accounts without physically moving it. This is the primary way to break down silos in the multi-account setup. Fourth one is replication of security integration. Using account replication, you can now sync users, roles, and even network policies across accounts to maintain consistency. And the last topic is identify the use cases that are appropriate for account strategies. I had divided them into three parts: use case, recommended strategy, and what is the reasoning behind it. Okay, the first use case is early stage startup. If your company is kind of a startup or you are just new to the IT with a very small team, the recommended strategy is to have a single account setup. And the reasoning behind is that you will be having low overhead and it will be very easy to manage with simple RBAC. The next use case is global enterprise. If your company is a multinational company or it's a product based company which have a very vast data to store and a lot of clients to serve, the recommended strategy is multi account. And the reasoning behind is it is essential for data residency following all the GDPR and CCPA policies and the regional performances. Third one is SaaS provider. Definitely guys, if the use case is SaaS provider, the recommended strategy should be multi-account. And the reasoning behind is that often use readers account or separate accounts per gold customer to ensure data privacy. Fourth one is strict dev and production separation. And obviously we are talking about separation. Recommended strategy should be multi-account. And the reasoning is very straightforward, that it prevents accidental account admin mistakes in production while testing in the dev environments. The last one is centralized data hub. As the name suggests, you want the solution which is very centralized. So the recommended strategy should be single account. And the reasoning behind is it is best for internal teams that shares the same core data sets, example marketing and finance teams. This is pretty much about the use cases for appropriate account strategies which you should follow whenever you are setting up the new Snowflake account within your organization. Based on the requirements and the recommended strategy, you can decide which is the best fit for your organization. To be very honest, the exam often tests your ability to balance operational simplicity versus regulatory compliance. If the question emphasizes ease of management, lean towards a single account. And if it is emphasizes data residency or let's say absolute administrative isolation, multiple accounts are the answer. Cool. With that said, we had also covered the strategies and the use cases and the considerations and constraints and features and capabilities. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one.